There are moments in life when you feel something greater calling you, as if somewhere in your mind there is a clearer, higher version of yourself. A life you know you could be living, a future that keeps knocking at the door of your imagination. Yet it still hasn't materialized. Let me tell you something powerful. If you can see in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. That isn't a cute phrase. It's a law, as real as gravity. Napoleon Hill discovered this after 25 years, studying the most successful men on the planet. And every single one of them had one thing in common. They visualized their success. Long before the world saw it, they lived it in the mind first. The world simply obeyed later. And here's the most important part. You could do it too. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're starting. The reality you are living right now is nothing more than a reflection of the image you consistently hold inside. Change the image, and the universe will rearrange itself to match it. This video is not just here to inspire you. This is a guide, a spiritual and scientific blueprint to activate your inner power. Welcome to the Napoleon Hill Code. Here we don't just dream, we materialize. Are you ready? The story that started it all. In 1928, a young insurance salesman walked through the streets of Ohio with a notebook in his hand. He had one goal: double his income that year. No plan, no connections, no pipeline, nothing, except one thing, a picture in his mind. Every night before sleeping, he closed his eyes and imagined himself handing out policies. He saw the signatures on the contracts, the firm handshakes, the satisfied smiles. He saw himself walking with confidence, pockets full of commissions, a man who won. Weeks later, things started changing. Calls came from people he'd met years ago. Referrals showed up unexpectedly. Sales closed effortlessly. Within 6 months, he hit his goal. Within a year, he surpassed it. He didn't fully understand how it happened, but he knew one thing. His mind created it first. Think about this for a moment. Every invention, every movement, every breakthrough in human history began as a mental picture. Steve Jobs saw a phone without buttons before it existed. The Wright brothers saw human flight while the world laughed at them. Someone once looked at the moon and visualized a human standing on it. And you visualize too, without realizing it. Every time you imagined failing, every time you pictured something going wrong, every time you rehearsed a negative outcome, what happened? It usually came true, not because you were predicting the future, but because your mind is a magnet that pulls in whatever image you hold with emotion. Visualization isn't magic. It's spiritual mechanics, the process through which the invisible becomes visible, whether you realize it or not. You visualize all the time. The problem? Most people visualize unconsciously. They imagine what they fear. They rehearse what they don't want. And then they're shocked when their life reflects those images. But when you use this power intentionally, you can redirect your destiny. Your mind becomes the blueprint, and you become the architect. Visualization is not daydreaming. It is construction. It is command. It is creation. And today, I'm going to show you how to do it consciously, powerfully, and consistently, because a mental image, held with faith, is the beginning of every miracle. The dominant picture principle. Napoleon Hill wasn't a millionaire. When he started his research, he wasn't famous. He wasn't a business icon. He was a hungry journalist with an obsession to discover the laws of success. In 1908, Andrew Carnegie gave him a mission: study the greatest men of the era for 20 years and reveal the universal formula behind achievement. Hill accepted. For more than 2 decades, he interviewed over 500 giants: Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, Theodore Roosevelt, Charles M. Schwab, and many more. What he found was astonishing. Every one of them practiced a silent but devastating principle. They saw it in the mind first and acted as if it were already real. Hill called it the dominant image principle. A mental picture held long enough becomes an instruction to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious, loyal, obedient, powerful, begins rearranging your life to fulfill that picture. This is why Hill wrote his legendary line: whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. not a slogan. A law. Conceive equals imagine it clearly. Believe equals feel it with certainty. Achieve equals the inevitable consequence of those two forces. But if one is missing, the process collapses. You can imagine without believing. Nothing happens. You can believe without a clear image. Nothing happens. Vision. Faith. Emotional action equals manifestation. The more emotion you attach to the picture, the faster it becomes real. Why? Because the subconscious doesn't respond to thoughts alone. It responds to emotionally charged thoughts. A mental picture soaked in gratitude, excitement, peace, or certainty pierces deeper into your subconscious than 1,000 empty affirmations. And when you act as if, when you embody the image, before the world confirms it, you send a powerful signal that magnetizes the events, people, and opportunities you need. This is not theory. It is the lived experience of thousands who have used this principle to redesign their lives from the inside out. Science now confirms what Hill taught. For years, visualization was dismissed as esoteric, mystical, unrealistic. But today, neuroscience confirms it. The brain does not distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. Harvard researchers discovered that when a person visualizes an action with enough clarity, the same neural circuits fire as if they were performing it physically. If you imagine yourself playing the piano, your brain lights up almost identically to when you actually play. Now imagine what happens if every day you visualize your future with that intensity. Your body shifts, your emotions elevate, your energy aligns, your identity evolves. That's not philosophy, that's biology. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, responds to repetition. Each time you visualize with clarity and emotion, you strengthen neural pathways. You are building a map, a mental highway, that becomes easier to travel until your brain accepts it as truth. That's why athletes use visualization. Before competitions, Michael Phelps mentally rehearsed his races thousands of times, so vividly that even when his goggles filled with water. During the Beijing Olympics, he won gold practically blind. His mind had already solved the problem before the problem arrived. That is conscious visualization. That is real mental training. Your energy is visualizing too. You visualize not only with the mind, but with your whole being, your posture, your body language, your emotional tone, your energy field. Everything you are is constantly broadcasting signals that shape your experience. That's why visualization is not enough. You must embody the vision. You must become the person before the world rewards the person. Steve Jobs did this. When he launched the first iPhone, people thought he was crazy. But he had already lived that reality internally. He had held it, felt it, believed it. The world had no choice but to catch up. That image you keep seeing, it's not random. If you're here today, it's not by accident. Perhaps you felt it. That recurring vision, that dream that won't leave you alone, the picture that visits you at night, or right when you're about to quit. Don't ignore it. It is the seed of your next life. And the first step is believing it is not there by coincidence. A repeated thought becomes a command. A clear vision becomes a direction. A vision fueled with emotion becomes a force. And when they align, the universe moves. Most people visualize wrong, not because they dream too small, but because they visualize from the wrong emotional state. Lack. They say, I visualize myself wealthy, happy, successful. But their body vibrates in frustration. Their mind whispers, this isn't real. This doesn't happen for me. And nothing changes. Not because the principle fails, but because it was executed from fear, not certainty. Visualization is not about seeing what you want. It's about feeling that it is already yours. You can't visualize abundance while feeling unworthy. You can't visualize love while hating yourself. You can't visualize success while carrying the shame of past failures. Your mind can imagine anything, but your energy only attracts what matches your inner identity. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you believe you deserve. That's why affirmations without belief do nothing. It's perfume on a wound. Visualization must come from identity, from the version of you who already is. That shift you can make right now. The 5-step method. Simplified, spiritual, powerful. Step 1. Prepare the space. Silence. Presence. Deep breathing, like you're about to speak with your soul. Step 2. Choose one clear image. Not 10 goals. 1. Condensed into one scene. Step 3. Add emotion. Emotion is the glue that bonds the picture to your subconscious. Feel it. Don't watch it. Step inside it. Step 4. Repeat daily. Morning and night. 5 minutes. Same image. Every day. Step 5. Release and act like it's real. Walk differently. Speak differently. Decide differently. Don't visualize for proof. Visualize because it's already done. Real stories, real proof. Jim Carrey, the $10 million check. He wrote it for acting services rendered. 10 years later, he got paid exactly that amount. Muhammad Ali, the mental champion. He said, "I am the greatest. I said it before I knew I was." He had already won his fights in the mind. Sarah, the mother who lost everything. She visualized her future from the front seat of her car. Today she owns a bakery and lives the exact scene she saw in her mind every night. These aren't miracles. They're manifestations of a law that never fails. The 21-day ritual. Before sleep, visualize the same scene. Feel it deeply. Whisper, "It is done. Thank you." Upon waking, 2 minutes. Repeat the image before touching your phone. Do this for 21 days, and your mind will never be the same, because the outer world only responds to one thing, your inner world. Hold the vision long enough, and reality will follow. Everything you seek already exists. It only needs a mind brave enough to see it first. If you saw it today, it was not a coincidence. It was a signal. Don't drop it. Don't forget it. Don't postpone it. Make it real. Make it yours. Make it inevitable. And before you go, if something inside you awakened today, if you felt that spark, that clarity, that undeniable voice saying, "This is who I'm supposed to become," then don't walk away and return to the world as if nothing happened. Most people watched 30 seconds and left. Most people chose distractions. Most people chose their old identity. But you stayed. You listened. You felt the calling. That means you were ready. This isn't just a channel. This is a movement, a training ground for minds that refuse to live small. If you want more messages like this, if you want a voice that keeps your vision alive, if you want a community that grows with you, hit subscribe right now. Do it as a declaration. I choose my vision. I choose my future. I choose the higher version of myself. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to Napoleon Inspires. Let the next chapter begin.